This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for Game 2. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy brings this action here on the ICC Sports Network. ICC won the first game of the day, 9-4. Justin Medlin, a great performance from Justin, 10 Renaissance Bank strikeouts, and then it was Austin Powell having a big day as well. He had a pair of 2-run home runs as we're getting set for Game 2. We'll give you today's Coca-Cola starting lineups after this First American National Bank opening pitch. And it is going to be fouled down the line for a strike. That pitch coming your way at 6-0-4. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup here for Delta in Game 2. Roche will be the shortstop. Pounders will be at second. Lane will be at first base. Dendy will be the DH. Rhodes in right field. Blanchard will be catching again here in Game 2. Kelly will be the third baseman. Melton will be the center fielder. And Reed will be out in left field as that ball fouled off and able to find its way out of play, or excuse me, actually stayed in play, but just couldn't get to it, as now the count goes 0-2 here on Roche. Wiley will be the pitcher for Delta here in Game 2. Now for your Coca-Cola starting lineup for ICC. ICC and Coke, now that's a winning combination, and Coach Rick Collier, he's hoping he's got the winning combo put together here in Game 2. For ICC, it looks like this. Kyle Krieger will be the second baseman. Jackson Lancaster will be batting second, playing in center field. You've got LeBryant Sedale playing in left field. Justin Medlin, who picked up the win in Game 1, he'll be at first base. As that pitch missing outside, 1-2 now goes the count. Brett Coker will be your shortstop. Jacob Hall will be the DH here in Game 2. Lane Domino in right field. Russell Bunch at third base. Ray Sandroni will be catching here in Game 2. And on the hill for the Indians is going to be Hunter Hughes, and he gets a Renaissance Bank strikeout right on cue there. And a big start there for Hunter. And Jeremy, let's take a look at some Sonic stats there on Hunter Hughes.
Hughes making his 10th appearance of the season, has a 5-1 record, a 3.65 ERA, 37 innings pitched, 45 hits, 23 runs, 15 earned, 19 walks, now 32 strikeouts. He's given up 3 home runs on the season.
This ball popped up left side. It'll get out of play. 0-1 now is the count. Well, for those that may not be familiar with the name Hunter Hughes, he goes by Peanut. Prefers to be called Peanut. But we're going to stick calling him Hughes in the broadcast. Has that pitch in there for a strike. The umpire had to think about it for a second and called it strike 2. So 0-2 now is the count here. This is Pounders at the plate. Grounder right back up the middle. Krieger's going to have to hurry. He throws and not in time. The diving effort was there, but a heck of an effort by Kyle Krieger even to make that close. And Jeremy, that's a normal misconception. People think diving into first base speeds you up, slows you down a little bit, but still a bang-bang play and a nice job there getting that base hit by Pounders.
Yeah, you're right, though. The play to me was Krieger. I mean, the ability to go to his arm side and be able to make that play and throw across his body and make a good throw. Mm-hmm. I mean, he made a really good throw. He gave himself and his team a chance to get that out. Pounders just does beat it. You're right. If he's running through that, it's probably not a bang-bang play, but when he dove for it, at that point you knew ICC had a chance. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite come up with the out.
That first pitch, this is Lane at the plate, goes high for a ball. 1 out and a runner on first. This is going to be a liner, and there's 1 and 2. How about a Little Caesars double play there? Krieger, who made the great play before that, completes the double play there, and ICC, Jeremy, with a great start to the contest.
Yeah, terrific start. Hughes gets the strikeout and gives up a weak ground ball, and then that one hit pretty sharply, but fortunately right to Krieger, and the presence of mind to snap throw to first base, and the 0 is all that matters for Hughes in the first.
We'll take a break and hear a word from Little Caesars and be back with more as we head to the bottom of the first, scoreless here in Game 2 between ICC and Delta.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Caesar's extra most bestest pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after that Little Caesars double play started by Kyle Krieger. It'll be Krieger, Jackson Lancaster, and LeBryant Sedale due up here in the bottom of the first inning. Jeremy, we take a look at the game 2 starter here for Delta, and that's going to be Wiley. Tell us about some of his Sonic stats.
Connor Wiley, the freshman, making his 14th appearance on the season, a 2-3 record. Wiley with a 5.5 ERA. 36 innings pitched, 36 hits, 28 runs, 22 earned, 16 walks, 40 strikeouts, has given up a home run this year. So obviously, high strikeout guy. Go through his warm-up tosses. Got some good velocity with his fastball, and just like some of the pitches we saw today, he's got a really nice breaking ball that he can use to try to keep the hitters off balance.
So it'll be Kyle Krieger leading us off here. He's playing at second base. And we already talked about the Little Caesars double play he turned to end the first inning. Now he's going to try to get the Indians bat started off right here as he leads us off in the bottom of the first, game 2. ICC won the first game of the day 9-4. Makes their magic number 1. So if ICC can win game 2 here, they will be the 2019 MACJC champions, as that foul ball straight back into the chest of the catcher. Umpire does a good job of coming up and throwing the ball out, giving him a chance to catch his breath.
Yeah, Krieger got a fastball right down the middle. Wiley's going to attack. He's much better at being in the zone than Muzzy earlier, and certainly Booth late.
And a high fastball that time had a wicked tail back into the batter, and Krieger finds himself down the count 0-2.
Yeah, and so now, if you're ICC, you understand you're going to get some fastballs in the zone, but there's some movement there. So definitely the best pitcher I think you're going to see from Delta tonight.
So the 0-2 pitch coming. It's a fastball. Fouled down the right field line. Right fielder's not going to be able to quite get to it as it's going to sneak into the bullpen, and we'll stay at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Game 2 between ICC and Delta. We'll give you a scoreboard update from softball earlier today as they were out at Coahoma, as that pitch missing outside. The Indians win the first game of the day, 8-0. That was in 6 innings, and they close out the day with an impressive 21-1 win in 5 innings in game 2. And so the softball team, they'll be back home on Thursday against Meridian for sophomore day there. That pitch, nice fastball missing outside, even the count now at 2-2.
Yeah, really good take there by Krieger. Trying to just spot that fastball in the outside corner to see if he can get him to chase. Good plate discipline.
There's going to be a slow roller. Could be trouble. Third baseman's going to have to hurry and not going to be able to get to it. And that's going to go as an error on the play there. So a good job by Krieger. Found a piece of that one, made it difficult. Third baseman could have probably got him out on a good throw, but just couldn't come up with the ball.
Yeah, Kelly, we saw earlier in the first game, did a good job charging a similar ball with the bases loaded. This time just fumbled it around. And if he's able to glove it, he certainly has a chance to set and throw. Krieger does have good speed over there, but Kelly just did not give himself a chance to even make the throw. And so the Indians have a leadoff runner, and this is where ICC becomes really dangerous. Once Krieger gets on base, the ability to bunt, hit, run, steal, and just Lancaster's solid play at the plate, this is where the Indians can be awfully dangerous.
Lancaster stood in and took that first pitch for a strike. We got a very unique cadence from the home plate umpire as he has that dramatic pause and then a quick bark for a count. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that as the game progresses here. This pitch popped up left side, should get out of play. Yes, it will, and now the count will go 0-2. Well, Jeremy, let's give the left fielder, before I swing it to you, the left fielder was sprinting hard, and the field slopes down for the rain, and I guess he didn't realize that, and he couldn't find the brakes as he went crashing into the new fence out there. But, Jeremy, one thing that Wiley's doing a good job here early on is getting ahead of the batters.
He is obviously ahead of Krieger there, 0-2, now ahead of Lancaster, hitting his spots early, using that fastball to get ahead.
So the 0-2 pitch coming. There's a shot, and it's going to be over the head of the shortstop. Nice hit there for Jackson Lancaster. He's going to look at 2, and Krieger will jog over to third. A clutch hit there for the Indians.
The 11th double of the season for Jackson Lancaster. That one smoked right over the shortstop into the gap. 0-2 pitch. We talked about him getting ahead, Wiley, but unable to finish. Krieger unable to finish Lancaster. And the Indians with something brewing here in the first. That's a great piece of hitting by Lancaster to take that pitch on the outside corner and hammer it into the left center field gap.
Well, no outs. Runners on second and third here for the Indians. A lot of speed on the bases. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No outs now, and LeBryant Siddell at the plate. LB playing in left field. That's where he's been all season. That's where he was at his entire freshman year as well. Looks at that first pitch, a breaking pitch at the knees for a strike. Beautiful pitch for Wiley. One thing you might see the Indians do a little bit later on in the game, if Wiley keeps attacking like this, is maybe getting aggressive early at the plate.
Yeah, just sit on that first pitch. You're most likely going to be first pitch fastball. Wiley's not a guy that pitches backwards a lot. It's a good block there by Cade Blanchard. And you're right. That's what you do second time through, third time through, start to figure out, what the tendencies are for the pitchers. And Wiley's a fastball dominant guy, but you've seen so far he can snap that breaking ball in there, and he can command it.
Yeah, that time the ball hit in the dirt and popped up and kind of caught Blanchard more to the side of his protective gear, so give him a chance to kind of catch his breath there. 1-1 now is the count. No outs. LB at the plate. LeBryant looks at that pitch inside, takes it for a ball. 2-1 now is the count here on Siddell. Well, Jeremy, if you're the Indians, you want to get some momentum early, this is your opportunity here. No outs, runners in scoring position. Siddell just could not catch up with the fastball there. If he did, that one would still be traveling right now.
It would. This is an elevated fastball. Wiley gets him to chase a little bit. It's a 2-1 count. He's sitting fastball, knows he's going to get it, but Wiley elevated it just a little bit out of the zone, and you're right, Siddell couldn't catch up to it.
That pitch high and inside. The catcher was actually set up on the extreme outside part of the plate. Had to come back and climb the ladder to get that one in. If it doesn't get away, probably high enough to get this netting and allow the run to score.
Yeah, that was definitely a missed spot by Wiley. But Siddell's run the count full. See that breaking ball outside corner maybe.
And there's ball 4. LeBryant Siddell will take the walk, and the Indians cooking with grease here early. Bases loaded, no outs, and this is Justin Medlin coming to the plate. This is a guy that if you give a high fastball to, he can time it up and can do some damage.
Yeah, he can, and he leads the team with 7 home runs on the year. And, boy, that pitch, 3-2 fastball outside corner. And I thought Siddell gambled a bit by taking that pitch. Obviously, it was ball 4, but it was a really good pitch and good location there by Wiley. But now, boy, he makes one mistake. You're right, it could be 4-0 in a hurry. And, boy, Medlin got a hit last time in game number 1. Needs something good to happen here. He's had some good at-bats, but just hasn't had the ball find the gap. Maybe he can find one here.
Bases loaded for ICC. There's no outs. 1-0 is the count here to Medlin. Looked at that fastball, missing low. 2-0 now is the count for Wiley, and Wiley wanted that one for a strike, and we already got somebody warming up now or heading down to the bullpen to warm up for Delta, and we're going to have a quick conversation on the hill here. Let's hear a quick word from Davis Ford.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back. Of course, Davis Ford right behind us over here. We determined earlier, Jeremy said it's a sandwich from where we're at right now. Is pro golfer Jeremy Kennedy, Adam Gore.
I wish. I wish.
Bringing this action here in Fulton. Jeremy, we do appreciate you coming in, as always, to help out this season. And you'll probably get a chance to hear more out of Jeremy. Of course, had the call of the Hines series and that great walk-off home run. I know a lot of people are very appreciative of you coming in and very appreciative of you coming in so they don't have to listen to Gore a lot of times as well.
Yeah, I heard that a time or two.
Yes.
Yeah, guys got some DMs on Twitter after that going, thank God. No, it's always a good time when we get a chance to work together, and obviously you get a chance to see a good team like ICC play. They're fun to watch, and a real chance to do something deep in the postseason, trying to win a championship this afternoon or tonight, and got a chance to get off to a good start.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs. Bases loaded here for the Indians. We're in the bottom of the first. Justin Medlin at the plate here. Lights are on at the ballpark. That ball in the dirt blocked up nicely that time by Blanchard. Now 3-1 goes the count, and really got to be careful here.
Boy, if you're Justin Medlin, this is a hitter's dream. You're expecting fastball. You're saying if it's down the middle, I'm going to hammer it. If it's not, I'll let it go by. And if you're Wiley, there's nowhere to put him. You've got to throw a strike.
So the 3-1 offering to Medlin coming. And that one outside, and they're going to walk him. And so ICC will walk in the run here, and the easiest RBI of Medlin's career as he pushes across the run there is Krieger. He reached on an error, and 1-0 now is the lead ICC.
Yeah, 36th run batted in of the year for Justin Medlin. And yeah, this is, if you're ICC, what you want. Come out, you get 3 outs by Hunter Hughes. You come to the plate, already you got a run across. Your plate discipline has been really good so far. And now you get some guys at the bottom of the order that have really hit the ball well that are going to come up with some RBI chances.
This is Brett Coker at the plate. Takes that first pitch, a breaking pitch in there for a strike. Coker playing shortstop has played well today defensively for the Indians. Trying to get the bats fired up here. ICC had a double. As there's going to be a flare out to the right side. This is trouble. Right fielder's going to have to go back. Looking back in the sun, will get it. And that will turn into a ICC BSU sacrifice fly as the run will score there. So ICC takes a 2-0 lead. That sacrifice fly for Brett Coker being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. They had their final meal of the year last night at the Fulton Country Club. Brother Chris and company doing a great job as always. They also run the concession stand here at the baseball field. They said, Gore, we got you and Jeremy between games. We'll bring you a burger. Well, they ran out of them, so they're having to cook them up here. So, yeah, if we get that burger in the 3rd inning, folks, you're going to have to watch the game. We're going to be quiet and eat.
Well, one thing it wasn't quiet, the bats of ICC, they've been really loud the last few innings of game number 1 and a couple of really hard hit balls here in game number 2. And you're doing your job, just advancing runners, productive at bats. That's not close to a strike, but it was called anyway. And, if you're Brett Coker or some of these other guys, you're Justin Medlin, struggle a little bit lately, just have some quality at bats and they'll fall in.
This is Jacob Hall to plate as we got runners on the corners with 1 out. Jacob has been a pretty good clutch hitter for the Indians, and there's going to be a grounder. They're going to have a chance at getting 2. There's 1, and they will turn 2 there, so a big-time Little Caesars double play as 6 unassisted over to 3 to end the inning there. But ICC does get 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. 2-0 is your score. We've played 1 here in game 2. We'll take a break and hear a word from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula.
Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare.
Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger?
What?
Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. Game 2 here between ICC and Delta. This game scheduled for 7 innings. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy, Raphael Henry, Lee Adams on hand for today's contest between ICC and Delta. The final home game of the year for this number 4 Indian Ball Club. We did celebrate our sophomores in between the games and got a lot of guys that's going to continue their career. Some guys that still have some options to continue their career after this, as this is going to be the first pitch swung on, popped up, and shallow left field. Coker's going to go back and make the play.
Boy, that was incredibly tough there. I thought this would be LeBryant Siddell's ball, and probably in retrospect should have been, although Coker went out and made a really nice play, showed you the athleticism. And you mentioned a guy that's going to go play next year. Louisiana Tech's getting a good one at the shortstop spot. And
Krieger's going to take
it. I take that back.
ICC's going to have a good one again next year at shortstop.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes Krieger, Coker, you know, they run together.
They do.
But Coker does a good job to go out there and you'll be able to settle underneath that because it's not an easy play at all, especially because he's backpedaling, whereas Siddell's coming in and charging. Typically, you find the outfielder to make that an easier play.
That pitch missing outside, 2-0 now is the count as Hughes struggling a little bit here, as this is now Rhodes, the right fielder at the plate. Boy, Jeremy, we talk about it. Rhodes has played outstanding out there in right field today.
He and Melton were fantastic in game one. They were able to rob the Indians of some hits early, saved a couple of runs, and also, too, just mentally, when you hit a ball out there, you think to yourself, okay, I can't hit it to the center, I can't hit it to right. So in your mind, you cut off a third of the field out there, and that's obviously really difficult.
This one's going to be fouled back off the netting. And 3-2 now goes the count here on Rhodes. Rhodes, the number 5 batter in the contest, thanks to a Little Caesars double play. The Indians got a 3-up, 3-down inning in the top of the first the unconventional way. And there's a swinging strike 3. Big-time pitch there from Hughes.
Elevates the fastball up and away, and Rhodes chased the ball out of the strike zone. And Hughes has done a good job hitting his spots early. Gets some help there. Just throwing the fastball up and away and gets a big strikeout and has a chance for a clean inning.
So with 2 away and nobody out right now, that was the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Hughes. That pitch up in the zone a little bit for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. RenaissanceBank.com, member FDIC, the best bank in the South, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics here on the ICC Sports Network. This pitch popped up. It's going to get out of play and even at the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Trojans. ICC won 9-4 in the first game of the day. They lead it 2-0 now here in the top of the second in game 2. A win for the Indians? Well, it'll be history. It'll be the first state championship for the Indians since 2009, as there's a swing and a miss for strike 2. But, Jeremy, we got a lot of baseball to play before we can get there and start talking about that too much.
Yeah, obviously it's in the back of everybody's mind here. First things first, though, that was a terrific off-speed pitch by Hughes.
1-2 pitch coming. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout, the third of the game, as a beautiful pitch there from Hughes. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the top of the second. It's 2-0 as we'll take a break and head to the bottom half of the second inning. Before we do that, let's hear a word from Renaissance Bank and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back to action. A long exchange here in the inning after the catcher Blanchard had to go to the dugout to get his gear back on after being the final out of the inning, but even then the umpire still gave him like 7 pitches to get warmed up here as we're awaiting the start of the bottom of the second ICC with a 2-0 lead for the Indians. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters to up. Lane Domino, Russell Bunch, and Ray Sandroni. Jeremy, good start to the contest for the Indians. They loaded the bases, was only able to get 2 runs on there, so you also got to give credit to Delta for also turning a double play, much like the Indians did to end the first, to end the bottom of the first as well, to get out of that with minimal damage done.
Yeah, Wiley made a good pitch to Hall and get it a roll over to shortstop, and obviously Delta able to turn it. But I like the approach from the Indians. They were patient, and then when they got the fastballs in those hitters' counts, they were not able to pull the trigger and go and attack it. And we saw some hard hit balls there in that bottom of the first inning. I think you're right. Fortunate maybe for Delta that only 2 come across, but obviously if you're the Indians, you're never going to apologize for 2 runs in an inning.
Absolutely. As that first pitch fouled off and out of play, 0-1 is the count here to Domino. Domino couldn't find that once it just fell out of the zone that time. 0-2. And once again, Wiley doing a good job of getting ahead of the batters early on in the count.
Yeah, it was ahead 0-2 of Krieger and ahead 0-2 of Lancaster, but couldn't finish, and that was his problem early in that inning that allowed both of those runs to come in.
So the 0-2 pitch coming. It's a breaking pitch, and it's a beauty. As that one right down the middle for a strike, and Domino kind of gave a glare to the home plate umpire that time, and guess what? The strike zone is probably going to open up a little bit more next time he comes to the plate.
It's possible. It was a really good 0-2 pitch. Got him with a couple of fastballs, and then all of a sudden you throw that big breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, and well done there by Connor Wiley.
And I don't think you got much of an argument out of or if you're Domino, as that was just a good-looking pitch there from Wiley, as that pitch to Bunch missing for a ball.
Yeah, that was pretty much over the heart of the plate there. Good 0-2 pitch.
So 1-0 is the count here to Russell Bunch. That pitch going to miss low for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Russell selected Mr. ICC by the IC student body. A little fun fact there for you. As Bunch looks at that one, and good-looking pitch, caught a ball there. 3-0 now is the count to Bunch.
I keep saying I think he's the big X factor at the bottom of this lineup. Has really come on as of late. He had a good game in the first one, and going to draw a 4-pitch walk there. But I think he can be such a catalyst to help turn this lineup over. You know, when they go with maybe the game 1 lineup, and they've done a good job, you know, being able to get people on base for him, and he's done a nice job bringing them in the last couple of games.
Now the number 9 batter, catcher Ray Sandroni, coming to the plate here for the Indians. Ray, as normal, catches game 2 here for the Indians. And Jeremy, you think about it, when you talk about making that long, deep playoff push, having 2 catchers that you can rely on is huge for this Indian lineup.
Yeah, it's critical. I mean, Gino Sandroni can be somebody you're leaning on if you get into one of those elimination games in game number 2. He doesn't have the power that Austin Powell does, but he's pretty solid, a good receiver, and the bat's coming along as we get deeper in the season.
That first pitch called a strike is a breaking pitch missing outside that time. He was the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tell us about some stats on Ray.
Yeah, Ray hitting .304 on the year, no home runs, 15 runs batted in, but carries a .470 on base percentage, and that's what I'm talking about. A guy that understands, you know, his play discipline, it recognizes pitches pretty well, and hitting over 300 for a freshman this late in the season, pretty good.
Absolutely. As that pitch across, 1-2 now is the count here to Sandroni. There's 1 out, runner at first. That's Russell Bunch, who drew a 4-pitch walk. Indians lead it 2-0 after a crooked letter on in the bottom of the first. Catcher setting up way outside, and that's where the ball goes. Nice job by Blanchard blocking that one up and keeping Bunch over at first base.
No, Blanchard, conversely, going to have to catch both ends of this doubleheader. That's obviously going to be much more taxing on him. And we may see Coach Collier push the envelope and get into some steal situations and see if you can test Blanchard.
So the 2-2 is the count here with 1 out and a runner at first. Fastball, and that's going to be blistered. And it's going to hang up just enough out to left field. And now Bunch is going to have to hustle back, and they're going to throw it in, and it's not in time. has nearly doubled up bunch that time. As I was like Russell, I thought that one was down, and he was thinking third base that time. But again, another outstanding play by these outfielders for Delta.
Yeah, Matt Reed out there getting the start in left field, just running everything down in the gap. There's nothing more you can do if you're Sanjoni in that situation. A fastball middle in, he timed it beautifully, absolutely hammered it into the left center field gap. I'm like you, I thought that ball was going to be down, maybe one hop the wall. But Reed able to move over and made it look easy, and they almost get a double play. So these outfielders for Delta doing a terrific job keeping their pitchers alive when they give up some of these hard hit balls into the outfield.
Krieger reached on an error and scored a run in his first at bat of the day. He'll dig in, trying to spark a 2-out rally here with a runner at first. That's Russell Bunch, who drew a walk. Snap throw over to first. Bunch dives back without an issue. Well, sun is starting to set here at the ballpark, and lights have been on for a while. The shadows have disappeared here, so we anticipate the sun to continue to disappear as it tucks in behind the waterway. That's a breaking pitch, and ooh, nearly fouled off, and there was a fan standing behind the dugout that just so happened to duck out of the way. If he doesn't do that, then that's a bad day.
Yeah, boy, that's a really good breaking ball, and Krieger got just a piece of it almost before it went into the catcher's mitt of Blanchard. And boy, look at that, and you just kind of go, man, thank goodness he was alert and watching.
Yeah. So 0-2 pitch coming, and this one popped up left side of the field. Left fielder going back to the warning track, and that should be out number 3, and it is, as that one just hung up enough in the ballpark. So a nice job by Wiley after kind of running into a little bit of a hiccup there in the first, settling down and getting a no-run, no hit, no error inning. They did leave a man stranded, did ICC. So, Jeremy, through the first 2 innings, 2-0 your score. Talk about the game so far.
Yeah, obviously Wiley doing a good job there to come back and bounce back. He needs to thank his outfield. Matt Reed able to keep Sanjoni from getting a double. And obviously Hunter Hughes has done a good job there. Really dominant last inning. Got a couple of strikeouts to end the frame. He'll need to do what we talked about Medlin needing to do, which is take advantage of the bottom of that Delta lineup, which has struggled this year. Keep those guys at bay because the top of the lineup can swing it a little bit. But Hughes from that left side got that sweeping breaking ball he can throw, and then does a good job with the spot fastball.
Of course, Hughes is signed with Mississippi College, so that's where he'll continue his career. And you look at a guy like Peanuts, he's that X factor. You talked about Russell Bunch being in the bottom part of that lineup for the Indians batting-wise, but when you got a number 4 guy pitching at the level that Hunter Hughes is, that makes you feel pretty good as an Indian.
5-1, ERA a little bit above 3. That's ace material for half the league. So you're right. And obviously when you get into postseason play and the games are condensed, you get pitching depth that ICC has with Medlin and Hughes, in 3-4 situation, in addition to Harding and King, just gives them a little more depth. Then you throw in Lancaster and Krieger, who can pitch as well. That's what makes ICC a really tough out.
Yeah, then you got Roland, guys like that. You can come in as middle relievers as well. So maybe one of the best bullpens we've seen here in ICC in quite a while. So that pitch going to miss outside, as this is going to be Kelly, Melton, and Reed due up. 7, 8, 9 batters here for Delta. Kelly, the third baseman, here in game 2. Swings on this one, fly ball out to right field. Jackson Lancaster jogging back and will make the play for out number 1. Routine play there, and a nice pitch by Hunter Hughes to get the fly ball out to center field.
Yeah, Kelly hit it on the nose. Unfortunately for him, just right to Lancaster. And so you put Lancaster in the same outfield with Reed and Melton and Rhodes. And boy, this were like slow pitch softball back in the day. You get 4 outfielders. Nothing would get by them at all.
And you think about it also, Lane Domino, LeBron Sedale, we may be seeing the top outfielders in the league this afternoon here in Fulton. Grounder right back to Hughes. It bounces off of him. He's going to have enough time. Throws it over for the out. Nice job defending his position that time by Hunter Hughes.
Well, I thought at first he was going to try to run over there and underhand it. I think he thought, I don't have time to do that. Yeah, that ball was hit pretty sharply back up the middle, and he did a good job just to knock it down and then keep his composure to be able to barehand it and then make a strong throw over there. And the other thing, too, is Delta's hit some balls hard themselves. Fortunately, right now for Hughes, they're right at people.
Ground ball is going to be second baseman Krieger going to have to hurry. The throw over is there in time. Thought that one was rolling a little bit slower than it was, but Kyle Krieger takes care of business there. Another 3-up, 3-down inning here in the top of the third. Fast-moving contest. ICC leads it 2-0. We'll take a break. Due up for the Indians in the bottom half of the inning will be the 2-3-4 batters, Jackson Lancaster, LeBryant Siddell, and Justin Medlin. We'll see how they do after we take a break and hear word from Sonic here on the ICC Sports Network.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in!
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza. Well, Jerry, I tell you what, Little Caesars sounds really good right now as ICC leads it 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy bringing this action here on the Let's Go ICC TV.com. As it's going to be Jackson Lancaster leading us off here. Hey, real quick shout out to Jackson's aunt Valerie Outlaw, as she is tuning in this afternoon here, or this evening I should say, and she's wanting to see big things out of Jackson here. He's already got a double and a run scored, so Jackson, keep making your aunt happy here in game 2.
Yeah, obviously doing a good job defensively as well, and continues to play his best baseball. Can pitch as well and will factor on the mound in postseason for the Indians, no doubt about that. And we talked about it, you and I, from the very beginning when we started doing some of these games together. And Missouri's getting a really talented player. And you look at it, and sometimes you don't know why certain schools choose not to maybe recruit a player. But boy, Missouri is going to probably put him in the outfield from day one, and maybe, I don't know if he'll pitch at all at the next level, but he might get a shot at least in fall ball.
Quickly hitting the count here is Lancaster, 3-0. LeBryant Siddell, Justin Medlin all due up here in the bottom of the third inning. ICC got 2 runs off a bases loaded walk to Justin Medlin and a sacrifice fly to Brett Coker. That scored Krieger and Lancaster respectively. Lancaster taking the whole way that time, and it's going to be a walk, a leadoff walk issued here to Lancaster. And now that's going to bring up LeBryant Siddell.
Boy, Wiley really wasn't around the plate on any of those 4 pitches, and the command has not really been a problem for him. Better than 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. He had those 16 walks in 36 innings. Obviously controls okay, but that 5.5 ERA worries you. And already the Indians' second time through. And so what adjustments does Wiley make? Because the Indians, so far at least, first time through, had a pretty good read on what he wanted to do.
Siddell tries to lay down the bunt. He fouls it off. 0-1 now is the count here on LB. He walked the first time up. He's done that quite a few times this year, as we've talked about it, and we'll continue to talk about it. LB, just one of the most patient, probably sharp-eye batters we've seen in the league. So 0-1 is the count. Runner at first is Lancaster. LB shows bunt, lays it down. There's only going to be one play, and that's going to be to first. So a very good sacrifice bunt laid down that time by Siddell. That sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. Follow them on Twitter at ICCBSU.
Good job there by Siddell to get it down. One of the lost arts, being able to get the bunt down when you have to. Only a 7-inning game, so you're trying to build as big a lead as possible. And, of course, it's just been Coach Collier's philosophy. They're going to sacrifice bunt a lot. 10th in the nation in sacrifice hits, or excuse me, in the top 10 of the nation in sacrifice hits. So no matter if it's the first inning or the 7th inning, Coach Collier's going to drop the bunt down when he gets a chance, and the Indians are awfully good at execution.
This is Justin Medlin at the plate, and that pitch looked a little bit up and out that time, but a strike called. And Jeremy, that's another good point you made there. And ICC is not just certain people that are designed. You had a power hitter in LeBryant Siddell that laid down a really good, nice sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, I don't know that most people would bunt your 3-hole hitter who's really coming along as of late in this situation. Game number 2, it's bottom of the 3rd inning, but Coach Collier's got a philosophy. He sticks to it, believes in it. There's some conviction there, and Siddell laid it down as if he had done it all year long, and of course he has, and that's why the Indians have been successful.
1-1 now is the count here to Justin Medlin, runner at second. That is Jackson Lancaster, who started the inning off with a walk. He got there, as we just mentioned, on that sacrifice bunt. Big time healthy swing there, fouled off. Medlin just pulled his head out of that one. If he could have squared it up, it would still be traveling right now.
Looking for a fastball, got an off speed, and Wiley, there's been one issue maybe the Indians' last couple of games. It's been, they've struggled a tad bit to time up that breaking ball. If you got a big snapping breaking ball you can put in there, you can keep some of the Indians off balance or at least get ahead in the count. Now the question is, can Wiley finish ahead 1-2?
So waiting the 1-2 offering here to Justin Medlin. Pitch on the way, and it's there for a strike, and Medlin knew it as he started walking away for the ball before it was called.
Yeah, it's a really good pitch. I think this time he just got crossed up. He was expecting fastball 1-1. He got the breaking ball. He was expecting breaking ball 1-2. Got the fastball. Really good job by Connor Wiley. Mix up those pitches, working both sides of the plate, and just froze Medlin. And well done there by Wiley. Big out. Now obviously only one pitch away from getting out of this inning and putting up a 0.
So with 2 outs now, this is going to be Brett Coker, who had a sacrifice fly in his previous at-bat. Swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it back, and out of play over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu to find out how you can help contribute to Itawamba Community College. So 0-1 is the count after that foul ball. Coker at the plate. Trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. They lead it 2-0. We're in the bottom of the third. Beautiful breaking pitch, but that one just dipped down a little too soon for the umpire's liking, as that one goes for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
Boy, Wiley continues to have some good command on that breaking ball. If he can continue to throw that in any count, he will go a long, long way in this one.
So Coker looking for a hit here. That is a breaking pitch outside. Not a bad spot to miss that time. See if you couldn't get him to chase one after that previous pitch was pretty close. And the scoreboard says 2-1. That's what I'm going to go with in this situation. So 2-1 now is the count. 2 outs. A runner at second in Jackson Lancaster. Anything down to the outfield will score Lancaster as he's quick as a hiccup. Ground ball. This is going to be tough. They're going to have to hurry. Shortstop has it. Throw over is going to be in the dirt. And not in time. Tough play. Good play to make it close, but let's give credit where credit's due. Jackson Lancaster getting in the way of the shortstop.
That's exactly right. That's where I was going to go with it, too. Off the bat, gets a good read on it, just chopped left side, and Roche does a good job to charge it, but Lancaster did enough to bother Roche at shortstop and Kelly at third. He had to hold up, and then once he gloved it, you knew at that point that it was probably going to take a miraculous throw to get Coker over there at first base. And so a nice job there by Lancaster to help his batter out and extend the inning and give yourself a chance to pick up an extra run.
So now with 2 outs, this is going to be Jacob Hall, one of the sophomores that we celebrated during the exchange of games on sophomore day, as that first pitch catches the corner of the plate for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. He hit into that Little Caesars double play to end the first, looking to redeem himself here in the bottom of the third.
One of the guys from South Mississippi, all the way from Petal, one of the better high school baseball programs historically in Mississippi. They produce a ton of talent. A lot of it stays around that area, but he was able to come all the way up here to Itawamba, and he's been really good this year. Hall hitting over 300. Got a home run, 20 runs batted in, a .468 on-base percentage, and somebody that can really help the Indians with that DH spot.
Of course, that home run you're talking about was a grand slam that proved to be large, as that's going to get away and will allow the run to score. Thought that one had a chance to get over the net for a second, Jeremy, as the wild pitch will allow Lancaster scamper from third and also will push Coker over to second, and 3-0 now ICC.
And that's the part of Lancaster affecting Roche when he was trying to field that ground ball. If he doesn't do that, either gets himself out or allows Coker to be thrown out at first base, it's 2-0. You're going to the fourth because of that smart base running play. You keep the inning alive, and Delta rewards you with a wild pitch.
So 1-2 now is the count here to Jacob Hall, runner at second base. Breaking pitch missing outside, and 2-2 now goes the count.
Missing close with that breaking ball. The Indians just doing a good job of recognizing it and laying off of it. I think they're also sitting on it as well. He's thrown it a lot more than I anticipated. Scouting report tells you he likes his fastball a lot. He's got command of that breaking ball, but he's throwing it really in any count.
There's a grounder right back up the middle. A great play by Wiley. Look what I found. We'll toss it over for the out, and we'll record it 1-3. A great defensive play that time to end the inning, but the Indians do put another run on the board. They lead it 3-0 here after 3 complete. I don't know if I finished my thought on Jacob Hall when I talked about his home run. It was a grand slam in that big 5-4 win over Northwest, so a clutch hit there for Jacob Hall. 3-0, your score. We've played 3 here in Fulton in Game 2. We're going to take a break and hear a word from First American National Bank and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily. But our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the 4th inning. ICC with a 3-0 lead after Jackson Lancaster was able to score on that wild pitch. And Jeremy, we move now to the top of the 4th inning, and it's going to be back to the top of the lineup here for Delta. And right now, Hunter Hughes dealing pretty well.
He's pitched extremely well. A couple of hard hit balls there in the 1st inning. Fortunately, ended in a double play right to Kyle Krieger, but really dominant in the 2nd. Finished with a couple of strikeouts in the 3rd inning. Pretty quick and painless, and already had 0-2 here. Delta's 2nd time through the lineup, though, with Roche at the top. Curious to see what Hughes is able to do 2nd time through.
Ground ball, that's going to be the shortstop. Coker gets it over and throws it out. 6-3 to retire Roche. And again, solid effort over there by Coker at short.
He was. He had a really tough day defensively on Saturday. 3 errors in that first game, but then obviously came back. Everybody remembers, the 2-run home run that walked it off. But he's been very, very good over there defensively. Has made all the routine plays. That's what you ask for at the shortstop spot. And then made a couple of really nice plays, including that ground ball into shallow left field.
And Hughes is going to get a grounder right back to him. Thought he was going to run it all the way over to first. And
at that point, I thought you might as well.
Might as well.
If you get – usually your pitcher takes a few steps and you will underhand it, but he ran almost all the way over there where you thought, hey, look, if you're Justin Medlin, just move away because the underhand toss from 2 feet may be a little tough to take.
Now this is going to be Lane at the plate. He grounded into that – hit into that double play and to end the 1st inning. Swings on the first pitch he sees. Pops that one way back and out of play for strike 1.
He hit that behind the grandstand to our left as a right-hander.
That breaking pitch over there, and Jeremy Hughes is working with purpose. He gets the ball back and he's ready to deal.
Yeah, he's clearly in a rhythm right now and obviously feels pretty good about what he's doing out there on the bump.
Deep fly ball, and that's one going to exit the ballpark. Yes, it is. That's going to be a solo home run off the bat of Lane that time. And, Jeremy, that was a no-doubter there. Is that one, the only question was how quickly would it get out of here. So that's going to be a solo home run for Lane. And a big-time shot there for Lane to make it a 3-1 contest.
Yeah, 4th home run of the year, ties for the team lead in that category. And just as we were talking about Hughes being spectacular, he's still been really good. Just an 0-2 mistake pitch and left the breaking ball up over the heart of the plate, and Parker Lane did not miss it at all. That was a moonshot, and we have seen some absolute home runs today that have been crushed out of the ballpark.
So that one pitch missing missing inside 1-0 is the count. As this is Dindy at the plate. He's the DH this afternoon. He popped up to the shortstop in shallow left field to start the 2nd inning. So he's going to try to keep the inning alive here with 2 outs. As that pitch missing low, and 3-0 now is the count.
And now Hughes just needs to relax. Sometimes you can work too quickly too as a pitcher. you want to get in that rhythm. You feel pretty good. You want the ball back, but then you give up a home run.
As this pitch fouled off. Really surprised he wasn't taking on that 3-0. I think he swung at ball 4 there.
Yeah, he did, and that may be something that helps Hughes in the at-bat. But now Hughes has got to relax, take a deep breath, and go back to work.
And there's ball 4. Good-looking pitch there. Just couldn't quite get the call. A few little oohs and ahs out of the ICC faithful behind us here. A great crowd this afternoon, Jeremy, for ICC. Of course, sophomore day, got an extra family in the area. But that's been the case all season long, as it's not only for baseball, softball, soccer, all the sports here at ICC. Great following from the ICC family.
Yeah, they really do a good job coming out supporting everybody. And, of course, it always helps when you're pretty good, too. Indians top 10 in softball, number 4 in the country in baseball. Chance to win a championship today. And obviously, too, got really good facilities. It's an attraction for people to come out. And the weather this time of the year is starting to get really good.
Yeah, I was complaining, or not really complaining, but commenting earlier about how hot it was. But this right now is a great night for baseball. The lights are on here at Crescent Field as 2-0 now goes the count here to Rhodes. And we talk about that. The new rankings came out today. ICC stayed at number 4 in the country in baseball. They've been there for about 3 weeks now. Softball jumped up to number 6 in the country after sweeping number 7 Gulf Coast, and they swept Kahoma today. They're on their way back, so if any of the girls are watching, congratulations on the sweep out there at Kahoma. And, of course, they'll be back in action on Thursday for their sophomore day as they play host to Meridian and then close out the season right now on Saturday at Southwest. Those games available right here on the Red Channel. 2-0 is the count, and that one right down the middle. This is going to be blasted. It's trouble. Is this one out of here? And no, it's going to be off the wall. And they're going to try to get the run to score. Nope, they're going to hold him at third, and that will be a double. Well, nice piece of hitting that time as Rose just laid back, waited on it, and Jeremy, the way the ball's traveled today, you kind of held your breath as an ICC fan thinking the game might have been tied up just then.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely crushed into deep left field. And for Devontae Rhodes, his 7th double of the season. And Hughes has started to get a little bit too much of the strike zone. He's missing with his pitches up, a little bit like we saw from Medlin in Game 1 whenever he struggled. You end up getting some of those pitches, you leave them up, and these guys are able to really hammer them. And those are 2 extremely hard-hit balls that one left the ballpark, the other one almost did.
Popped straight up over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Ray Sandroni almost charging into the booth here in front of us as well.
Thank goodness for that net there for us. But obviously that's the other thing too for Hughes is that we saw this with Justin Medlin. You're rocking along, everything's going well. You hit a batter or you give up a base hit, then you have some struggles, and that's the challenge as a pitcher is to try and not let that one mistake get to you and compound it.
There's going to be a line drive down the line. This is going to tie the ball game. No, they're going to call it a foul. They're calling it a foul ball. And now they're going to come out and argue this one. And I think he's got a legit argument here, Jeremy.
I do too, and the home plate umpire did make a motion with his right hand and pointed as if it was fair. I don't know if he either just made a mistake or if he didn't realize he did that, and then all of a sudden he turned and pointed foul, and he did that almost right before the second runner scored.
And we're also going to have a pitching change coming in here for the Indians as well, and again, if you're the home plate umpire, you got to give the Delta coach all the leash you can give him here because that is a very, very questionable call. And I'm like you too, Jeremy. When he did come up, I thought he called it a fair ball the way he motioned up with his right hand.
He did.
Russell Bunch was pointing foul, 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 and now they're going to just reset it there. So a tough break there for Delta as it will have a pitching change. Jackson Lancaster will come in to pitch, so we'll take a quick timeout. And be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put it to you this way. ICC lucky to be leading this one 3-1 right now on a very questionable call that went the way of the Indians there. We saw the argument in between the inning. As we do have a new pitcher in the game, this is going to be Jackson Lancaster coming in with 2 outs. Runners at second and third here. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Jeremy, give us some of those Sonic stats here on Jackson Lancaster.
For Lancaster, making his 14th appearance of the season, 0-1 on the year with 3 saves. 19 2/3 innings pitched, 12 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 15 walks, 37 strikeouts, has a 2.75 ERA. Got the Indians a crucial save there in game number 1 against Hines. It came in and shut the door on the Eagles in game number 2 that allowed the Indians to only need 1 run to tie 2 to win in game 2, which they did in a big situation here. Ahead in the count 0-2. But he's got 2 runners in scoring position, and, of course, Delta still frustrated by the fact they thought they had a 2-run double to tie it. Lancaster, though, has a chance to get the Indians out of the inning and to keep them at a 3-1 lead.
So Lancaster's pitch coming, breaking pitch, fouled off, and we'll stay at 0-2. Jeremy, that was a double-breaking curveball that time. That thing had some wicked action on it.
Yeah, Lancaster's got really good off-speed stuff. Of course, the velocity with the fastball from the left side is pretty good. Likes to go on the right, or excuse me, the outside corner of the outside.
And a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning. Jackson Lancaster comes in and gets the Renaissance Bank strikeout, and the Indians escape a jam there, and they lead it 3-1. As we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning, we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula.
Jalapeno.
No way. Avocados, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. I'll tell you what, I got to give credit where credit's due. Cameron Orr over there cheering on the Indians. He's a football player here at ICC, and he was the guy that one of the Delta fans were calling about how awful the call was. It was a questionable call that went the way of ICC, and Cameron Orr yells at him, I think it was the best call of the day. And one of the parents smarted back to him and asked him, what sport do you play? And Cameron, you look at him, probably about 6'6", what do you say, upper parts of 260.
Yeah.
Quickly responds soccer.
Of course, because everybody that plays soccer is 6'3", 6'4", 240, 250. Yeah,
big offensive lineman.
Yeah, it was definitely a really tough call for Delta. I thought it was a fair ball. I think the argument was valid.
I do too.
But unfortunately, that's the break that goes against Delta, and when you're having the kind of season that the Trojans are having, sometimes that ends up being something that goes against you.
So this is going to be Lane Domino, Russell Bunch, and Ray Sandroni up here. Now, what's going to be interesting to see if that type of pitch stays for Delta now, as that one's a little bit out, as this one low for a ball, 1-1 now is the count. So does the argument from the Delta coach come up and earn you a little bit of wider strike zone here? And I'll say this, I can't fault him if it does.
No, I think it probably will, at least maybe for this half inning. And
Domino is going to ground this one. Third baseman has it, throw over a little high, but a nice stretch for the out to get the speedy Domino for out number 1.
So a good job there by Cole Kelly. You're right. You understand Domino can really run second on the team in stolen bases. Tendency to sometimes try and do too much too soon, but Kelly just gloved it, stepped and made a strong throw over to get the out. And really important there. Wiley trying to keep ICC where they are. I mean, this feels like maybe a bigger game or a bigger lead than it is, but it's only a 2-run game at this point. And there's still plenty of time left and 9 outs for Delta to work with. And so the Indians can't shut it down just yet. And obviously you know how important this one is for Coach Collier to bring in Jackson Lancaster in the top of the 4th inning.
He also has Austin King getting loose in the bullpen as well. Austin saw limited action in the Hines series, so he's available as well. As that pitch missing low and inside, 1-1 now the count to Bunch.
He only went about an inning and 2/3 of 2 innings, just got roughed up there in the 2nd inning and couldn't get out of it. And, now needs to get loose, and we may see him in this one.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Glove cleanly. Will throw it over, and the throw is going to be high, and Bunch will reach on the error. Well, a big-time error there, Jeremy. That was just a routine play by the shortstop and just airmailed it as that one got away from him. And you saw as soon as he threw it, it looks like he was trying to pull it back, and a break there for the Indians.
Routine ground ball. You mentioned it. Roche did everything right, fielded it cleanly, and just airmailed it over there at first base. And right now, it just seems like everything that Russell Bunch is doing is right. He's getting on base all the time, and now another error in this one, and see if the Indians can take advantage.
Ray Sandroni is that pitch high for a ball over the head of Ray. He blistered one out to left, but it was a nice play out there in left field by Reed to rob him of an extra base hit. Jim Holder in the house from WTVA. You can see highlights of today's games tonight at WTVA News at 10 as that pitch low and outside, nicely blocked up that time by Blanchard to keep Russell over at first.
The Indians may not necessarily try anything, perhaps a hit and run. I mean, Bunch has only 2 stolen base attempts on the season. He's been successful both times, but I don't think we'll probably see him straight steal. Maybe a hit and run. You got a 2-0 count if you're Sandroni. I think you sit on the fastball. If it's not there, you can let it go.
Throw over to first, not in time as Bunch gets back safely without a tag. 2-0 is the count here to Sandroni. Indians lead at 3-1, trying to pick up some insurance runs here as that pitch missing low once again. And another nice job by Blanchard. Let's give credit where credit's due, Jeremy. Blanchard has been extremely busy this inning, and Blanchard kind of just making his pitcher work for it as well as he threw that one purposely away from him.
Yeah, he has, and obviously Blanchard, having to catch both ends of the doubleheader. A lot of pitches have been thrown in the dirt. He's had to do some work here in this second game, and kudos to him. Had one get by him on a wild pitch that allowed the 3rd run to score in the 3rd, but he's been pretty good back there.
Pitch coming, and that one in there for a strike. The ball got away again. Bunch unable to advance on that one. A good job by Blanchard. We keep saying good job by Blanchard, but he has. He's worked hard today in the heat of the day of Game 1 and still going strong here in the bottom of the 4th in Game 2. 3-1 now is the count here to Ray Sandroni. Runner over at first base. There's one out. Ball in the dirt, blocked up nicely, and now that will be a walk, and Sandroni will reach.
Well, good at bat by Sandroni. Wiley just not really anywhere close to the strike zone. His command starting to leave him. We've seen some activity in that Delta bullpen, and I can't imagine that Wiley is going to be out there too much longer because he is starting to labor some here through 3 1/3, and nothing yet out of the Delta coaches to our right, but we can see some activity down in that Delta bullpen.
And they've been hanging out, like hanging over the fence, so you got to think they're ready to go if needed. So either way it goes, we go back to the top of the lineup now in Kyle Krieger. He reached on an error, scored a run in the 1st. He flew out to left to end the 2nd. Actually almost snuck one out of the ballpark as it was about a couple of steps away from the fence out there in left field. So runners at first and second with one out now. Bottom of the 4th inning, ICC with a 3-1 lead. That pitch missing outside, and Jeremy, I think you're starting to see it a lot more laboring out of Wiley, and I think his pitches are limited here. And you got to think if he continues to struggle here, maybe fall behind the count, this might be it for him.
Yeah, Krieger right now, I think you become a little bit more of a passive hitter, trying to get in with that breaking ball, and he's falling behind with it. Does get it over there, and it's a good pitch. But, yeah, I would imagine if Kyle Krieger reaches and advances the runners, this will be it for Mr. Wiley.
For the most part, he's done well. He's only surrendered 2 hits, but it's been the walks and the errors that have haunted Delta so far here in Game 2. 1-1 now is the count to Kyle Krieger. 1 out. Runners at first and second for the Indians. Fastball. That one just missing outside. They're going to ask him if he went. They said he did not, and so it will stay 2-1 to count.
It's so tough for the base umpire to make that call in front of second base. You need him to be at first base, of course, and couldn't do that. So not really much the base umpire really could do. And now if you're Krieger 2-1, again, you sit on that fastball, you adjust if you get it, but a chance to really put one in the gap.
And that pitch high and inside. 3-1 now goes the count here to Krieger.
You don't want to load the bases with Lancaster coming up on deck, but as I talked about, I would imagine this is going to be Connor Wiley's last hitter if Krieger advances.
So 3-1 is the count. 1 out. Runners on first and second here for Krieger. ICC with a 3-1 lead here in Game 2 over Delta after winning the first game of the day 9-4. And that's going to be ball 4. Back-to-back walks now as Krieger will head down to first, and now the Indians with bases loaded with 1 out. And we'll see if Delta might be making a move here. And it doesn't appear so unless they're just going to wait till Lancaster to get into the box here.
Well, you're right. Delta down there, those relievers have been ready, and now here we get the move. And so that's going to be Wiley's last batter, as we suspected. And so the Indians with a chance to blow this open. You got the bases loaded with only 1 down for your number 2 hitter. And a chance to really blow this thing open. As we talked about, feels like it's maybe a bigger lead than it is, but only a 2-run lead at this moment.
We've got a pitching change here, so we'll hear a word from Sonic and more of our sponsors. We'll be back with more. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded with 1 out. ICC leading at 3-1, looking for more here in Game 2.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as ICC with a pretty good situation here as Jeremy, new pitcher in the game. Tell us about those Sonic stats and introduce us to him.
Sophomore Jeremy Smith making his 8th appearance of the season, 0-1 with a 6.10 ERA, 20 2/3 innings pitched, 26 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts. He has given up a couple of home runs, and he enters in a less than desirable situation with the bases loaded and the number 2 hitter Jackson Lancaster at the plate. And one mistake, and it could be not only just a 7-1 game, but basically put it out of reach at this point if you're Delta.
Well, of course, last time we talked about Jackson coming to the plate, he had a double. We also talked about his aunt, Valerie Outlaw, who is watching today, as that pitch across for a strike. So we mentioned that last time he doubled. I'm going to mention it again, see if he'll double again this time.
If it's a home run, you'll be required to read that every time he comes to the plate.
I will do it. So.
And if he steps on the mound, which he is at this point.
So bases loaded with 1 out now as Jackson Lancaster's at the plate, and that pitch across for a strike. Jeremy, sidearm delivery pitcher. Talk about the difference of eye level and trying to pick up on that quickly as a batter.
Well, you want to try to see the ball up, but obviously the natural arm motion keeps the ball down in the strike zone, results in a lot more ground balls on the infield. So if you're Lancaster, you got to lay off some of those pitches downstairs and get it up and see it up like that.
The ball back, and center fielder's going to go back to the warning track, and that will score the run, and the Indians will take the 4-0 lead. The ball is tracking over, and that will go for a sacrifice fly off the bat of Jackson Lancaster. Got the job done.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. It got behind 0-2, got a pitch that was a little bit up, and did a good job to just get the barrel on it. And if he doesn't hit this to the deepest part of the ballpark, it's a grand slam.
Yeah.
And a good job by Krieger over there at first base when he saw the throw coming from Melton to head to second base and be a second runner in scoring position. And a guy that has had a really good day, LeBryant Siddell, a chance to drive in two and give the Indians a little bit more of a margin for error.
That pitch across for a strike. Jeremy, who did you say the pitcher was now? Smith?
Jeremy Smith.
Jeremy Smith. I need to write that down in my book. Of course, Wiley's still on the hook here as these runs belonging to Wiley, except for the guy at second right now. Is there's going to be a grounder to the third baseman. He's going to have to hurry. Throw over pulls the runner off the bag, and ICC will add another run. Tough play on that one. Got to give him a hit there for LB, and that's going to go for an RBI, and the Indians now add on another run, 5-1, and they lead it now in this one. And another thing, it's now with runners on the corners in this situation with 2 outs and Justin Medlin. One thing it's done good for is Jim Holder, who's here to shoot highlights. He's got 2 runs, so he's got some highlights for tonight.
Yeah, send him a pass to come here for every single time the Indians play. And Siddell didn't get a lot of it, just chopped it up there, and really difficult play, as you mentioned, for Cole Kelly. And unfortunately, just couldn't make a solid throw. I don't think even a great throw gets Siddell, and so you end up giving him the hit there. But I really like the way the Indians have just become tough outs in both of these games. They've been able to string them together. They've made Delta really pay for mistakes.
5-1 is your score. 2 outs. Runners on the corners here for the Indians, and this is Justin Medlin at the plate. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. You got pretty good speed over there at third base. That is Kyle Krieger. He still belongs to Wiley, so if a pass ball gets away from the catcher far enough, it could make a tough situation for Delta. Hard hit ground ball. Second baseman has it, and that should do it. Throw over will be in time for the out. But the Indians do add 2 more runs on the board to take a 5-1 lead. We've played 4 here in Fulton. This game scheduled for 7. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as ICC wins it, or excuse me, not wins it. They lead at 5-1. I would like to say wins at 5-1.
Hopefully it's going to be wins it. I would imagine at this point, doing one of those win percentages, it'd be pretty high at this point for the Indians, only needing 9 outs. And you got Jackson Lancaster on the mound, and he's been really difficult to deal with from that left side. But as we talked about, Delta's got some capable hitters, and one of them coming to the plate right now who cranked 2 bombs in the first one. So can't make a lot of mistakes or Delta can get right back in it.
Kelly, Melton, and Reed due up here, the 7, 8, 9 batters for Delta, as that pitch missing inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Kelly. He flew out to center field in his first at bat, so he's going to try to spark a rally here. And he said he can do it. He's got plenty of power, as he belted a couple of home runs in the first game of the day. He fouls this one straight back over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Found out how you can contribute to Itawamba Community College by visiting iccms.edu. Dr. Jan Reed Bunch, Jim Ingram, and Tilda Bushlawn doing a great job there for the Foundation and Alumni Association. That pitch missing high and outside. 2-1 now is the count.
A lot of fastballs you're going to probably see from Lancaster. Try to attack the zone. Not mess around as much with the breaking ball. As this pitch fouled back once again. 2-2 now goes the count. No outs, nobody on base, as it's Kelly who's leading us off. He's playing third base. For Kelly, it's been some good plays, and it's been some tough plays this afternoon. Yeah, the ball has definitely found him over there at the hot corner. And like we saw with Russell Bunch, able to snag a line drive. Unfortunately for Kelly, he's had a lot of really tough plays. You know, that last one where LeBryant Sedell chopped one right to him. He wasn't able to make it, but earlier in game one, bases were loaded. He got a chopper that he handled cleanly and got the force out at home. Of course, at the plate, he's been really, really good today.
This is trouble if it stays fair. Domino makes the diving play, and he catches it. Are you kidding me? Lane Domino, have yourself a day out there, young man.
There's your Want to Play Wednesday.
Well, hopefully Raphael got it because it was off our screen right here, but you're right. If Raphael gets that, there's no doubt that right there could be our Want to Play Wednesday. Oh, my, Lane Domino.
That was incredible. Off the bat, I thought this was going to be maybe a foul ball down the right field line, but then as you watch it, you feel like, okay, this could be a fair ball and could be trouble. And Domino, who's shaded a little bit more towards the right center field gap than the right field line, just makes a beeline over full extension. Terrific play out there. Have we seen some outfielders today or what?
Man.
You're right. This may be the best collection of outfielders that we've seen all season. And that play right there from Domino, as good as it gets. You know about the speed. You know about the arm. Shows you the glove there as well, and robs Cole Kelly of a double.
Little slider pitch missing. 0-2 now is the count. And you heard it. Some of the dugout from ICC yelling Want to Play Wednesday as well. So so 1-2 now is the count. Hopefully Raphael did get that. Swung on and missed for strike three. Couldn't lay off the high heat there, and a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there of Melton for the second out of the inning.
Boy, it just elevates the fastball. You get ahead 0-2, 1-2, you can be a little liberal in your pitch selection, and sometimes hitters panic a little bit, chase a pitch up, and that time Lancaster with a fastball, and Rhodes just couldn't lay off.
So 1-0 is the count. There's two outs, and this is Reed at the plate here for the Trojans. That pitch paints the corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Reed, who had a nice play out in left field to rob the Indians of an extra base hit as well, grounded out to second in his first and only at bat here in game two. Swung on and missed and couldn't catch up with the fastball there, and once again we saw it with Hunter earlier. Now Jackson kind of finding his rhythm.
Yeah, just get into a rhythm, make some pitches, helps when you got your defense behind you. You're feeling pretty good, and makes a nice pitch there for a strikeout.
And the throw to first to end the inning, and that's going to be another Renaissance Bank strikeout. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts, 2-3 on the putout. A 3-up, 3-down inning thanks to an outstanding, amazing, spectacular, give me some more adjectives, Jeremy. Terrific diving catch out there in right field by Lane Domino. We'll move to the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back now as we shift to the bottom of the 5th inning for ICC. The 5, 6, 7 batters due up. Brett Coker, Jacob Hall, and the man of the hour, Lane Domino. Jeremy, the crowd still buzzing in the exchange of innings over that play by Lane out in right field.
Yeah, they should be. It's as good a play as I've seen all year long, not just broadcasting, but watching games as well. And again, where he was positioned, I think, makes it even more impressive. If he were positioned down the right field line, he probably gets over there, makes it a routine play. But as the ball was carrying, I kept thinking, well, I don't know. And then full extension. And as I said, ended up robbing Cole Kelly of a leadoff double. And you never know at that point. You get a leadoff double. Maybe some momentum changes. Maybe you pick up a run or two, and all of a sudden you put a little bit of game pressure on the Indians. But Domino pulls that one down, and then Lancaster cruises the next two ABs, and now you're 6 outs away from a title.
This is Brett Coker, who is 1 for 1 on the day with a sacrifice fly. As that pitch drifts up high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count after Coker fouled off the first pitch he saw. Jeremy, let's talk about this. You just noticed in the picture there, this has become a new trend in baseball, especially with pitchers, that hesitation, that pause. It's a timing thing. You try to throw off the timing of the batters, getting used to your pitching. But it's interesting that has been allowed to develop.
Yeah, because sometimes you would think, okay, depending on different rules, is that something that pitchers ought to be allowed to do? Is it too much of a distraction for the hitter? I don't think you're going to see it legislated out, but
this is going to be a fly ball. Second baseman will go out shallow right field for the out. Out number 1 there to retire Coker, and now this will bring up Jacob Hall.
But I do think that you will see pitchers try just for anything they can, as you mentioned, to throw off the timing of the hitters, and especially maybe guys that don't throw hard. They need something extra. They can't just rear back and throw at 95. They need something to help them. And the other thing too is pitching from the stretch with nobody on base. We see relievers do that a lot, and Smith does it here. And it's obviously as a hitter, it's tough because your tendency is, to move a little bit when you see that leg kick up, and if it has a little bit of a hitch in it, sometimes maybe it throws you off balance.
This is actually Caleb Whittle getting at bat here. Caleb is a redshirt freshman, did not play last year, and he was recognized during these sophomore festivities as that pitch high and inside. Jeremy, let's take a look at some Sonic stats here on Caleb Whittle. He hasn't got a lot of at-bats this year. But he does come in defensively a lot whenever Lancaster's pitching.
Yeah, 28 at-bats on the season, counting this one, hitting .222, a couple of runs batted in, has a .323 on-base percentage, and does a good job, as you mentioned, as a defensive replacement in center when Lancaster comes to the mound, and can go toe-to-toe with some of these outfielders we've seen today as well. He got a lot of speed, and if a ball is hitting the center field, I know Coach Collier feels pretty good about Whittle being back there.
Grounder up the middle, no throw on the play. That was just a tough situation there. Let's go back and look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. And just couldn't find the ball out of his mitt.
Yeah, Roche did a good job. Did a good job to come up and field the ball cleanly, but just couldn't get it out of the glove and throw over to first base. Whittle runs really well, but I thought when Roche was able to pick it that he would be able to throw him out, but just couldn't find it out of his glove, and then made the wise decision not to try to compound it and hurry the throw. Could have thrown it away and allowed Whittle to get into scoring position.
Well, Whittle sees the throw to first, and he dives back without a tag. This is Lane Domino at the plate. There's one out and a runner at first. Domino hits that one off the pitcher, and it's going to be an attempt to try to flip it back out of his glove that time. Didn't find anything, and that's going to go for a hit, as you'll see it just right back to the pitcher. And luckily, that one kind of caught him on the hip and didn't kind of catch him solid that time. So back-to-back hits. That was just a tough break for Delta.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I thought at first it was going to be back up the middle. Maybe Smith was going to be able to glove it and start a double play, or at least knock it down and get the runner out at first base. But Ball was hit so hard, just ricocheted off of him, and Pounders at second base. If that ball gets by Smith, Pounders may be there to start the double play himself. But because it was hit to the glove side, Smith's going to try to field it. If it's hit to the arm side, obviously you let that one go.
Yep. So 0-1 as that pitch clips the corner of the plate on Russell Bunch. Runners at first and second now. A lot of speed on the bases here for the Indians. As that pitch missing low for a ball, 1-1 is the count. Well, right now, if you're Blanchard, you really got to block everything up around the plate because these two guys on the bases, I wouldn't be surprised if ICC might try a double steal here with the speed they have just to get them in scoring position.
Yeah, with the way Bunch has swung it.
Now, there's going to be a foul ball as that one comes off the foot of Bunch.
The way he's hitting the ball, he's made contact. He's not as much of a swing and miss guy as he was. And that's kind of what you're looking for, obviously, the hit and run. Just somebody that can handle the bat and make contact. Speed is there on the base paths with Whittle and Domino. And, boy, you get one in the gap, those two guys will run for days.
So the 1-2 pitch coming, and Bunch just couldn't hang off on that one. Great pitch by Smith that time. A sidearm delivery that tailed away from the batter as well, and a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout.
Yeah, good sweeping slider. Russell, first time today, looked maybe a little bit just off balance at the plate. Probably wants to have that swing back, but good sweeping slider to get the big second out of the inning.
So now this will be Ray Sandroni, who walked in his previous at-bat at the plate. He also flew out to left field on a nice play by the left fielder. He's going to show bunt, lays it down, and this is going to be trouble. It stays fair. The throw is in time. Almost worked that time. They're going to see if they can catch the defense asleep, but a nice play there, 2-3 on the putout of Ray Sandroni to end the inning. But the Indians get no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're going to move to the 6th inning. ICC with a 5-1 lead, trying to win their first MACJC championship since 2009. We'll see if the Indians can do it. Before we do that, we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set now for the top of the 6th inning. This game scheduled for 7. And Jeremy, you kind of feel the intensity in the crowd. They feel it. They know it's getting closer and closer for the Indians to try to pick up this state championship.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, as you mentioned. First one since 2009 if the Indians are able to close this out. And it's also been a long time coming. You watch this team this year, you understand how good they are. And, it's been a long time, that they've had a chance to play this year. But
back to the wall, and it's going to be off the wall as Whittle could not catch that one. So this is going to go for a triple. And really thought that one had a chance to get out of here, Jeremy, but a leadoff triple off the bat of Roche as Whittle leaped to catch it, crashed into the wall. And so a good start to the contest there for Delta.
Yeah, 3rd triple of the season. And just to kind of finish the thought we talked about, you watch this ICC team play all season long. You watch them get to that number 4 ranking, and so the anticipation is there. But always tough to close everything out. They're going to have to go through the top of the order. Roche leads off the inning with a triple. And so now you've got Pounders, and won't be easy. And Jackson Lancaster's going to have to work around this.
And that's going to get away, and the run will score here. So it now make it a 5-2 contest after Roche will score on the wild pitch. And Jeremy, it's the MACJC Easy doesn't happen often in this league, so we know crazy things will happen. And now it's a 5-2 contest, no outs. Top of the 6th inning, and Delta trying to rally.
Yeah, but Edgefield Lancaster, though, in a weird way, now you can relax. The run's already in, no big deal. Bases are empty. Pretend this is the leadoff hitter. Go out there and do that right there. Fill up the strike zone like you've been doing, and you'll be just fine. And you're going to work that fastball, try to elevate it a little bit, especially against Pounder as a lefty.
And that one just missed high, and Pounder's able to hold off on it. 2-1 now is the count. There's no outs. 1 run has scored after a triple and a wild pitch allowed Roche to come around the bases. And that one looks really good, and Ray Sandroni thought it was too as he collapsed behind the plate.
Yeah, his reaction should tell you everything right now. And boy, Jackson Lancaster finding a little bit of trouble.
And that's going to be ball 4. Well, it's not been the best day for the guy behind the plate right now, as he has made both these fan bases pretty upset. I don't think he'll be on very many Christmas cards lists come December.
No, I still think he's probably in more favor of the ICC fans than the Delta fans, at least earlier, and certainly the Delta coaching staff. But, boy, if you're Jackson Lancaster now, you got to take a deep breath and relax and get back into rhythm again, because you're already giving up 1 run in the inning, then you give up a walk. A base hit here brings the tying run to the plate, and you still got to get 6 outs to finish this game.
So no outs, a runner at first base. Breaking pitch and missing high for a ball, and 1-1 now is the count. This is Lane at the plate, and got to be careful here. Lane had that big boy shot, a solo home run in his previous at-bat. He's also grounded into a Little Caesars double play. And this is another deep fly ball. Left fielder's going to have to hurry, and Sedale goes in and makes the play. And they're going to try to relay it in for a double play, but they will not. And what a great play out there by LeBryant Sedale. He covered a whole lot of territory to get out there. Basically caught that one in center field.
Yeah, he did. He was positioned a little bit more towards where that scoreboard starts in left field, and had to run all the way over into the left center field gap. And I think if that's Jackson Lancaster in center field, Lancaster probably calls him off and makes that catch. Whittle's terrific out there, but doesn't have maybe the experience, obviously, that Lancaster does. But that's 2 really hard hit balls off of Jackson here in this inning, and both of them have come because he's left the ball up a little bit. So he's got to get the ball down, make Delta swing, beat some ground balls on the infield instead of allowing them to hit some deep fly balls into the outfield.
So with 1 out, 1-1 now is the count. This is Dendy, who is 0 for 1 on the day with the walk. There is a runner at first base. This pitch foul back and out of play. 1-2 now goes the count here on Dendy.
That's a really good pitch right there. It elevates the fastball just a bit, gets Dendy to chase 1-2. Got that sweeping breaking ball that he likes to throw, particularly to the lefties. Wouldn't shock me if that's where he tries to go in the outside corner.
And there it is. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there, and it was a thing of beauty.
You just had a feeling that with all the velocity that he's been using and the fastballs he's throwing, he would try to come back with something off speed, and Dendy certainly was looking for the fastball perhaps maybe away, started that breaking ball at his hip, and just broke right back over the heart of the plate. Well done by Jackson Lancaster.
Pitch is high, as that was the 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for the 2nd out of the inning. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com, member FDIC. So that first pitch goes high for a ball. This is Rhodes at the plate. 2 outs and a runner at first. That pitch paints the outside corner. Pretty flat fastball that time they got away with.
Yeah, just put it on the outside corner, and Rhodes fortunately wasn't really able to attack it.
So 1-1 is the count. That pitch missing low. 2-1 now goes the count here to Rhodes. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out in his first at bat, but he did double to knock Hunter Hughes off the hill here for the Indians. This pitch fouled back and out of play, and evens the count now at 2-2. Remind you can see highlights tonight of today's game with Jim Holder at WTVA News at 10. Appreciate Jim coming out to cover tonight's games. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. There is a runner over at first base. Lancaster looking for the exit. And there's going to be a flare out to the right side. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it's foul. Another break there for the Indians, Jeremy, as that one gets down and run scores easily.
It does, and a really good swing there by Rhodes. A pitch, on the outer portion of the plate, just inside out, goes with it, and tries to shoot it down that right field line, and just did miss what would have been an extra base hit, and you're right, probably an RBI.
So the count stays 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitch coming. Oh, a good-looking pitch there to pull the chain on, but the umpire says it was up high. 3-2 now is the count.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good pitch right there for Lancaster, but a good call by the home plate umpire. So you know that Pounders is going to be off with the pitch here with the full count.
And this one popped up. Kyle Krieger coming over, shallow right field, and will squeeze it for the outs. Well, a good job by Lancaster. He gave up the triple and a wild pitch that allowed the run to score. Settled down after issuing a walk to get a fly ball out to left field. A great play by LeBryant Sedale. Then a strikeout and a pop-up to end the inning. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. ICC with a 5-2 lead. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy, Raphael Henry, and Lee Adams on hand here for the ICC Sports Network. Game 2 between ICC and Mississippi Delta. The Indians lead it 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And for the Indians, it'll be the top of the lineup. Krieger, Lancaster, and Sedale due up. And Jeremy, the Indians want to try to get that one run back, maybe even pick up a few more here, and maybe go ahead and put this thing to bed, and that way they can have a little bit more breathing room as they try to pick up their first state championship since 2009.
Yeah, you can see in the top of the 6th inning, Delta's not going to go quietly. Got some really talented players at the top of that lineup, and they've been successful for the most part all day. But one good thing for Lancaster is going to face the bottom of that order coming up. But, yeah, I mean, if you're Indians, a good chance to tack on a few runs.
Slow roller to the shortstop. Beautiful play to get Krieger, as Krieger staying aggressive. He's pretty aggressive for a leadoff hitter, as that one was a slow roller to the shortstop, and the throw was able to get Krieger out for number 1. And now this will be Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster is 1 for 1 with a walk. He's got a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI as he drove in a run on that in his previous at bat on a ICC BSU sacrifice fly. So a very productive day at the plate here for Lancaster, as he's accounted for 3 of the Indians' 5 runs.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to do something better than that. And obviously with what he does defensively and on the mound, probably the most important player that the Indians have up to this point. And, with what he can do at the bat, from that left side, facing a lot of right-handed pitchers, really impressive. Came in hitting .331 on the day.
And that's a beautiful, big, sweeping curveball that time from Smith, and now the count goes 1-2 here on Lancaster. Jackson on the hill, not in line for a win, but Jeremy, I do believe he's in line for the save, considering that Delta has come back and made this one a close one here. As 5-2 now is the score. That pitch missing low and outside. 2-2 is the count.
Yeah, he'll get one if he can close it out.
So 2-2 is the count, 1 out. And a breaking pitch there, missing low and outside. 3-2 now goes the count here to Lancaster. LeBryant Sedale is on deck. He had an RBI single in his previous at-bat. He's 1 for 1 of the day as well, just like Jackson here. Ground ball, first baseman, and he's going to boot it. Going to have to hurry, and there's that SEC speed that's going to beat that one out.
Well, you said it just right. I was going to say, you look at that replay, just chopped it, and unfortunately, over there on that right side, definitely going to be an error. Parker Lane just couldn't glove it, and once it booted away, no way was Lancaster going to be denied first base.
And Jeremy, you being an Ole Miss guy living there in Oxford, you've seen a lot of speed. Jackson, during the sophomore showcase this fall, topped out as the fastest player in the MACJC. That speed coming into value there.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why he's going to get to play at the next level and play in the SEC. I mean, obviously talented, but that speed helps.
A blistering shot to the third baseman. He was just able to keep that one in front of him. It actually came off his glove, hit him on the inner thigh, and it bounced below him. He found it quick enough to be able to get Sedell 5-3 on the putout, the second out of the inning. And now here comes Justin Medlin.
Boy, that's the textbook definition of the hot corner there. Sedell absolutely ripped it right to Cole Kelly, who has had more ground balls hit to him today than anybody out there easily, and maybe more ground balls or shots hit to him than I've seen in a long time, even for a third baseman. And he handled that one beautifully, composed himself, and made a strong throw to first base in a big second out.
That pitch at the knees for a strike to Justin Medlin. Medlin, he is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He walked and did drive in a run. It was a bases-loaded walk in the first. He grounded out to second to end the fourth in his previous at-bat. Looking to redeem himself here. 0-1 is the count. And that one is a beautiful pitch across for a strike. 0-2 now is the count. 2 outs, runner at second. That's Jackson Lancaster. So if he can get something down to the gap or through, will easily score Lancaster with the speed he has over at second base.
Yeah, just looking for a hole somewhere if you're Medlin to get that run in. And got a battle back here down 0-2. Smith really likes that off speed.
And that's where he goes. Grounder to the second baseman. He's got plenty of time to throw over. Is there. Boy, I tell you what, I do like the play of Justin Medlin, though. He was trying to leg that one out and stretch it out in a hurry there. Medlin a little upset with himself right now. He understands he's in a little bit of a slump, and he's trying to figure out a way to get out of it there. Well, the chop is on here. ICC 3 outs away from a state championship. Can they find it? We'll find out when we come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the 7th inning. ICC leads it 5-2, 3 outs away from being able to celebrate the 2019 MACJC championship. It'll be the first championship in 10 years for Coach Rick Collier and the Tribe. And Jeremy, there's not really much of a peep out of the crowd. There was the chop going on between innings. But you know the ICC faithful, they're going to be holding their breath until we get that third and final out of the contest.
Yeah, there's some nervous energy in the building right now, and you can understand that, obviously. Been a long time coming. A lot of parents watching their sons out there, and they understand how nervous they are. Of course, it's always more nerve-wracking to watch than to play, because you can't control. And so I would imagine guys out there in white, pretty relaxed, have been here before in terms of trying to win some big games.
So that first pitch fouled off. And this one lifted,
That's
and
foul.
It's foul.
That's foul. Way foul.
And, of course, you're going to get some sarcastic. That's fair. That's fair out of the Delta dugout, as that was a long fly ball. Tyrone Fox texting in, Rick Collier is the ambassador of JUCO baseball. As that was a long, exciting strike. 0-2 now is the count. Pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Out number 1.
Oh, nothing fancy about this at all. Some fastballs for Jackson Lancaster to Kay Blanchard after the long home run or long foul ball, I should say. just a fastball elevated, and Blanchard tries to climb the ladder. And always the most important out and the toughest out is that first one, and Lancaster did it pretty easily.
So now with one out, this is going to be Kelly at the plate. Kelly was robbed of an extra base hit on an amazing, let me repeat, amazing catch by Lane Domino in his previous at bat. He's also flew out to center. That was the third strikeout of the day for Blanchard. As this is going to be a liner, and this is going to be out to right field. Another jumping catch. Are you serious? Lane Domino overran that one and just jumped up and caught it.
That's the key. That's a terrific catch. It shows you the athleticism, but he didn't get the best read off the bat on this one. If he stays kind of where he is, it's going to come right to him, but he tries to run up and catch it, and then all of a sudden found himself in no man's land. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to pull that one down, but sticks the glove out there and gets it, and boy, a terrific catch by him, and two spectacular catches that could be What a Play Wednesdays.
Absolutely. What a Play Wednesday being brought to you by Renaissance Bank. And, well, of course, those will be eligible for next week's What a Play Wednesday. As that pitch missing inside, 1-1 now is the count. This is Melton at the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. ICC, Jeremy, 1 out away from the MACJC championship. You barely hear a sound out of the crowd behind us. Of course, it will go crazy if the Indians can find the third and final out of the inning here. This one fouled right back, and Jeremy didn't flinch that time.
That one a little bit more elevated, so it didn't come right at my face and easily there. And, yeah, all of a sudden you're going to get some energy in the ballpark now as you get one strike left and Lancaster on the hill.
1-2 is the count. 2 outs. Pitch coming. Outside for strike 3, and celebrate, ICC fans. The Indians are your 2019 MACJC champions. A dog pile on the hill, and Jeremy, what a better way to finish it for the Indians.
Well, Jackson Lancaster, a terrific job. Fastball in the outside corner, and Coach Collier going to join the dog pile. And boy, all year long they've done it. They've won a bunch of games. They've now won 11 in a row, and that's how you win a championship.
The Indians, your 2019 MACJC champions, with a 5-2 victory here in Game 2. And a big-time win there. I tell you what, kudos to Jackson Lancaster. He got speared on that dog pile, so hopefully he's okay out there. You hear the song playing here at the ballpark. ICC fans celebrating. The Indians will host the Region 23 tournament with the MACJC championship tonight. We're going to take a break and come back with the Renaissance Bank postgame report and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Jeremy, welcome back to the MACJC Championship. I'd let that play for a second as ICC picks up the win here in Game 2. Final score 5-2. The tradition of a sweep is the coaches get the treatment from the players as they run through the lineup down there. And, Jeremy, your final thoughts before we look at tonight's stats.
Boy, just a terrific job by the Indians. Obviously a culmination of some really good baseball all season long. And tough to play with some pressure, and they got a little bit of adversity there in the 6th inning. Lancaster handled it, but no doubt about it, when Coach Collier needs an out or 3, or in this case about 9, he's going to turn to Jackson Lancaster, and Lancaster is going to come through. Terrific job by the entire team. They played some really good baseball today. A clean game defensively in both games. I think that's important to note as well. They're playing their best ball of the season now, winners of 11 in a row.
Very impressive there. Let's take a look at tonight's Little Caesars stats, and let's start with Delta. Roche was 1 for 3 on the day with a triple, a run scored, and a strikeout. Pounders was 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Lane was 1 for 3. He did hit into a Little Caesars double play. He also had a home run, obviously a run scored with that. Dendy was 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Rhodes was 1 for 3 with a double. You had Blanchard was 0 for 3, all 3 strikeouts. Kelly, well, he was just abused by Lane Domino in right field today, as Lane Domino made 2 catches that are our Water Play Wednesday nominees for next week, as he robbed Kelly of 2 extra base hits. And then Melton was 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Reed 0 for 2 with a strikeout as well. For ICC, this is what your stats look like here. Kyle Krieger 0 for 3. He did reach on an error, scored a run. He also walked. Jackson Lancaster was 1 for 2. He walked and had a sacrifice fly and an RBI as well. He doubled and scored a run. LeBryant Siddell was 1 for 2 on the day. He had a RBI single, a sacrifice bunt. He walked as well. He did not score a run. Justin Medlin 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. Brett Coker was 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and a single. Jacob Hall 0 for 2 on the day. It was Caleb Whittle who was 1 for 1 with a single. Lane Domino was 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a single. Russell Bunch was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He did reach on an error and scored a run. He also walked. Ray Sandroni 0 for 2 with a walk as well. Hunter Hughes, he gets the win. Jackson Lancaster will get the save. And I gotta call Jackson our Sonic star of the game. He had a big day today, accounted for 3 of the Indians' 5 runs. Not only that, he also had 6 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the afternoon. Have yourself a day, Missouri signee Jackson Lancaster.
Yeah, he was terrific. And obviously, as I said, the most important player and really the guy that gets it going for the Indians, can do everything, patrol center field really well, active on the base paths, leads the team in stolen bases, and then certainly what he does on the mound, closing out games, a lot of pressure pitches that he's thrown, none bigger so far this year than the last 2.5 innings that he threw. And not a secret, look, Coach Collier went to him 3 2/3 innings by Hunter Hughes. He pitched really well. Jackson Lancaster gets the last out of the 4th, and then gets the last 9 outs. So 10 outs Jackson Lancaster had to get, and he got them all. And the Indians prevail and get a huge win and culminate what has been a terrific regular season with a championship.
Absolutely. As you see the team getting the pitcher in front of the scoreboard out there, a lot of the crowd making their way here on Roy Crescent Field. Jeremy, 10-year drought snap for Coach Rick Collier. This is his 3rd state championship as a head coach, 4th as part of the ICC here, the last one coming in 2009. So a very, very special evening here in Fulton.
Yeah, it is. And obviously, as you mentioned, a long time coming. And you mentioned it last year. We talked about this. This team got a lot better as the season went along last year, and a really good group, a really talented group. And they came in this year with a ton of expectations, and they handled it extremely well. This is a team now 37 wins in 44 games, and to go and win 22 now league games in a really tough league. You still got 2 more, really impressive, and obviously a lot of talent, and they're well coached. And Coach Collier's got a philosophy, and he sticks to it. These guys understand what's expected of them, and they've played really well all season long.
Absolutely. A lot of fans that are wondering, how does ICC go ahead and claim the championship now, dude, with 2 games left to play and only 2 games ahead of Northwest, who was idle tonight? Well, a simple fact of the tiebreaker rule. ICC swept Jones. ICC swept Pearl River. So if ICC and Northwest both end in a tie, ICC will have the eventual tiebreaker. So that's just how that one breaks down there. Celebration still going on out there in left field. ICC wins it by the final score of 5-2. They won the first game of the day by the final score of 9-4. The Indians now will close up the season on Friday at Gulf Coast. You hate to call those meaningless games because you do still got to win those games, and you want to keep some momentum going into postseason play before the Indians. Now a little bit of a sigh of relief, if you will, with the championship already won.
Yeah, I think that's the real description, is that the fact that they're relaxing games. You don't have to go down there to win one, to capture anything. You've done it on your home field, which is always more fun anyway. And so now you go down to Gulf Coast. But I think it's going to be really important, okay, now that there's maybe no pressure in terms of winning a championship, how do the guys handle it? Can they handle this? Can they be mature and play really well and be focused and disciplined and go down to Perkinson and play a really good ball club, in Gulf Coast to – obviously, they've got some things to play for as well. They're sitting at 15-10. They won their first game today, so they're no pushover. Can the Indians go and play well? Can they beat a good opponent on the road? And obviously, anything you feel like, if you're Coach Collier, you want your team to improve on, anything you need to clean up, get a chance to do that down there when 2 losses won't do anything to hurt you at all.
Indians improved to 37-6-1 on the year. More importantly, 22-4 in conference play. Delta falls to 15-19 on the year, 8-18 inside conference play. ICC wins game 1, 9-4. Game 2, 5-2. That's going to wrap it up for tonight's broadcast here on the ICC Sports Network. So for Jeremy Kennedy, Lee Adams, and Raphael Henry, I'm Adam Gore saying it's always a good day to be an ICC Indian. But when you win a state championship, it's a little bit sweeter. We'll see you Thursday when we got softball coming your way here on the Red Channel. Have a blessed evening. And as always, Roll Tribe.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.